Good afternoon, everybody. Mrs. Norris here, and today I'm going to go over lesson 2.3, the senior class fundraiser. So in this activity, we're going to be learning some editing basics. Like a lot of these early activities, this might be a little bit like review for you, but I just want to make sure that everybody knows how to complete these skills. So I'm going to be looking at the overview right now. It says, as a member of the fundraising committee for the student council, you have volunteered to create and edit a memo announcing the upcoming class fundraiser. There are times when changing the wording of your document is necessary. This often makes the document easier to read by using more appropriate word choices. Google Docs has editing tools that make changing the wording of a document quick and easy. So the new skills that we're going to be learning with this activity are how to use our spelling suggestions, which most of us have set as a default anyway, but just to be sure. How to cut, copy, and paste text, how to find and replace text, how to increase the indent of text, and how to define text. We're going to be naming our document Google Doc, or we're going to be naming our document first and last name lesson 2.3. And then we have the text that we are going to copy. You are working with this on this via a tutorial because everyone is working at a different pace. When you submit your work, you're going to submit it as a PDF through Canvas. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I am going to minimize my window here about halfway. Okay. And I'm going to open up my drive. All right. Now, when I open up my drive, I'm going to do a 50-50 here. If you don't have dual list, that's okay. You can do it on your own. All right. So let's see here. So I have my drive open on the left-hand side, and I have my activity or my assignment on the right. So I'm going to go ahead and in my drive open my Norris 2020 CAD page. This might be a different year, so it might be 2021 or something like that. I'm going to open up my Docs folder, and I'm going to create a new document. So at this point, we probably know how to create a new document, but I'm going to show you anyway. So I'm going to go to new, not a new folder. I don't need that. I'm going to go to right-click, Google Docs, and I just need a blank document. My instructions tell me I'm going to name this first and last name lesson 2.3. And then when I hit return, it's saving my document. And just to make sure that it's in the correct place, if I go back, I can see it here. Okay. So the first thing that I do before I do any editing is I'm going to need to copy this document here. So we have no spaces in between this first set of information, these first 5 lines. So I'm just going to hit return and it'll take me down to the next line. For this space here, I'm going to hit return 2 times. So between the date and the first paragraph, I'm going to hit return 2 times. Between the first paragraph and the second paragraph, again, 2 times, and so on. Okay. When I am typing this, I'm just going to type all the way to the end. The computer itself on its own automatically will take me down to the next line when my first line is full. All right, so at this point, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and pause the video and give you time to copy this document. So at this point, you as well, please pause the video and copy the documents that you have on the assignment page into your new Google Doc, Google document. All right, well, one thing that I realized I didn't show you as I should have is I didn't show you guys how to space this information. So what many of you probably did was you hit the space bar so many times to get it to the edge. And there might be some differences between how your information is lined up. So what I want you to do right now is delete that space. So I'm going to do that to all of these here. Okay. I'm going to delete that space, and then I'm going to go up to the first letter, and I'm going to hit on my keyboard the tab button. And then I'm going to do the same thing to in front of Hamilton, tab, tab. And then the same thing to in front of first, tab just once. Using the tab key will help keep everything aligned with the line prior to it. So I do want to make sure that I'm using the tab key. So I'm going to do tab here. Okay. So when you see an even space like that, don't use your space bar to move your text. Use the tab button, because then your tabs will be lined up. And in a later activity, you'll learn more about the tab tool and how to use it correctly and how to make changes to it and things like that. All right. So let's get into it. Now, what we should have done, but because it's automatic in everybody's settings, was we should have made sure that our spelling and grammar suggestions are on. So just in case for future reference, and it is one of the first new skills that we should have, let's check to make sure that our spelling and grammar is being checked as we're writing. So if you go to the top of your menu bar here and you click on Tools, and then you hover over Spelling and Grammar, you'll see that both Show Spelling Suggestions and Show Grammar Suggestions have a check mark next to them. So as you were working today, you should have had text that was spelled incorrectly highlighted for you in some way. So what it may have done, because as time has progressed, Google has improved, so it may have already automatically changed your spelling. But again, later on, we're going to be doing a spelling activity where we use this tool more in depth. So you want to make sure that some words that you're using might be spelled differently, but used the same or something like that. So you just always want to be mindful. So as we all know, if I take that off, now it's got the little red line under it to let me know that that word's spelled incorrectly. If I right click, then I can use one of the suggestions. Okay. So we've typed our document. All right. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to move some text around. So we can click and drag our mouse over the subject, or we can click 3 times. Either way you want to do it, we want to select the subject and we're going to cut it. So right click, cut, and then we're going to go to the end of the date, hit return once, and then we're going to right click, paste. Okay, now we've been given an extra line that we don't want, so I'm going to hit delete to get rid of that one extra line. So let me show you this again. So selecting the text, right click, cut, going to the end of date, paste. So I can either paste using Command V or right click and paste. Okay. So again, if you were given an extra line, make sure you get rid of that line, that there's only one line of space. All right. We're going to do something similar for the first line of our first paragraph. I'm going to highlight. Instead of cutting, we're going to paste or copy. So I'm going to right click and copy. Okay. And then the last paragraph, making sure that there's a single space, I'm going to paste. Okay. So just to show you that again, I'm going to highlight the first sentence of the first paragraph, right click, copy, and then go to the end, spacebar once, right click, paste. Okay. If you know your shortcuts, such as Command or Control C for copying, Command or Control X for cut, and then Command or Control V for pasting, you can use those as well. I like to make sure that I show you all the different ways to do these steps because not everybody uses the same kind of computer. All right. So now we're going to use actually a very useful tool called Find and Replace. Okay, so we're going to go to the Edit menu. And you can see down at the bottom of our Edit menu bar, we have our drop-down menu. I have Find and Replace. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. And I'm going to type Hamilton High School. And what we want to do is replace it with Hamilton High. Okay. And so now what it's going to do is it's going to find all the instances where it says, because we want to replace all of them, it's going to find all of the instances where it says Hamilton High School, and it's going to replace it with Hamilton High. Okay. Now, is this something that we could do manually? Of course it is, but it's always easier to have a shortcut. Then it takes care of all the information. You might have a Hamilton High hiding somewhere in another paragraph that you forgot about. So you want to make sure that you get every single one. So I'm going to go ahead and click Replace All. And then this is done. So I'm going to X out of it. Okay. So sometimes, like when we're copying a document, we come up with a word that we don't know, and we want to try and find the definition for it. So we're going to find the definition for the word. Let me try and find it here. Logistics. So if I highlight the word logistics and then go to my tools and dictionary, it will give me the definition of the word logistics. Now, one way that this might help you, even if you know what a word means, is you can use these synonyms down at the bottom. If you're writing an email where you're using logistics over and over and over again, you can vary your sentences by using synonyms. So that's also a good tool you can get access by using the dictionary tool. Okay. The other thing that you can do is you can research it. Or well, we have our research panel, so we're actually good. Okay, so our research panel has found the definition for this. So I'm going to go ahead and X out of that because I don't need it right now. Okay, and then some of our editing features that we've used in the past. So I'm going to highlight memorandum. I'm going to make it bold. So let me make this a little bigger here. I'm going to make it bold. And I'm going to center align it. Okay. I'm going to select 2 all the way down to subject, which it looks like I didn't cut this the last time. So I'm going to get rid of it. 2 down to subject. And I want to double space it. So I'm going to go to my line spacing. And I'm going to double. Okay. And those are the only changes that I need to make to this document. So once I've got my document all set up the way that it should be. So again, we've put memorandum in the center and bold using the center align tool and the bold. We've double spaced. Whoops, didn't want to do that. We've double spaced our header. We've added this same line down to the bottom here. Okay. And we've changed Hamilton High School to Hamilton High. So once we've done all of those things, then this document is ready to submit. So again, to submit, we're doing this as a PDF. So I'm going to go to File, Download, PDF. And then I'm going to submit this document in Canvas.